Hi, I'm Sara. Welcome to or welcome back to my channel. I'm a small business owner of a little business called Ereader Sleeves. I like to make reading cute, cozy, and fun, and I do sell handmade products such as Kindle sleeves, book sleeves, discreet book covers, bookish accessories, and more. This week's video is going to be preparing for my first ever market. So to start off, we will be doing some Kindle sleeves, so e-reader sleeves, getting more of those made. At the moment, I currently have this many made, and it is a 2-day market, so I'd like to get quite a few more made of each pattern and get these all up and running. I also need to make up some new logos. I recently changed my logo and I want to get all my new products that are being made with the new logos. So that is something I'll probably have to do first, as it's one of the main steps is putting on the logos. So to start off, we are going to get logos made and then start cutting out some fabric to get some e-reader sleeves made. I'll have a look because I do have some already cut out. So we'll go through, see what I still need, and go from there. But first up, we're going to get some logos made and printed. That quite literally took 2 hours to get 4 pieces of the new logo done. They turned out really cute. So with the first ones I was trying, it was a different material. I actually don't even know where I got it from. And I burnt it there. It just didn't, is this the right way? It just didn't transfer very well. Like, it looks okay on camera, but you actually can't see the logo. You can't see that there is actually like a round thing at the bottom here. So I changed it for my white fabric that I use on the e-reader magic butterfly sleeve, and it works straight away. I also, with this one, had the temperature too low, then too high, then and then I just put it to my usual temperatures for bookmarks and stuff, but it worked, so that is thank God. Now we're going to start cutting out the logos and the material for the e-reader sleeves and go from there. But I'm going to time lapse it because I find I always end up talking too much, and then I have like 5 hours of film to try and cut down to 40 to 50 minutes. So I will speed it up and I'll check in with you guys in most likely a few hours. So this is my drink for tonight. We have got creaming soda. I love it in a little glass bottle because it makes me feel really special. But I just got all of the labels cut out. So this is how it turned out. How cute is that? But we're going to go through the to make Kindle sleeves and figure out what fabric I need to cut out, what's already cut out, how many I've got, and then figure out from there. I've already got some pre-made lids, so we're going to go through, calculate what I need. You literally just put the fork right in front of the camera.
Oh!
Finally got all of these cut. It is now 8:40 and I actually don't know how many there is because I kind of just cut the strip and then made sure I didn't waste much fabric. So there's all of these that have just been cut plus what's in the drawer. So gonna cut up the iron-on interfacing, get that ironed on. I'll probably have to make the lids before I make anything else, which whatever. But so that was about 2 hours, but take off half an hour for putting my son to bed. So it was about an hour and a half for all of this. So I am really impressed with how much time the electric cutters took off, because this usually would have taken me way longer using the hand cutter and I would have had blisters. So definitely invest in one of those if you're looking for something. It's about $100, but it's worth it. Anyways, we are going to get a movie on, get the interfacing on, draw up the lids, get the magnetic clasp in, because I don't want to start quilting these because then I have to change the threads like 100 times and that's just really annoying. But anyways, enough talking, let's just get into it, otherwise we're going to stand here for 20 minutes having a conversation. So I've got them all on their batting. I do need to go to Spotlight this week to get more. Let me just move all the lids out of the way. So this is all of the ones I have got cut out, except for a couple of the Highland Cow and Lemon Orchard. I do have 4 of each, and these was just spare. Just jumping in real quick, I got a package. If you watched last week's video, I did put an order through Zella to get a handheld FPOS machine. I decided to go with Zella over Square because Zella was way cheaper for the pretty much exact same product. They had a sale on, so instead of being $1.99, it was on sale for $99, which awesome. And it's also an Australian owned business, and I love supporting Australia owned businesses because I am a Australian small business. But it arrived and I can't believe with how quick it came. At the moment, these businesses are just so good, and this is why I love Australian businesses, because of how quick everything comes. But let's open it up. I'm gonna turn it this way because I really don't want people seeing my address. Crazy, I know. But you're probably wondering why you're sitting on the couch opening a package. I have got Little Miss right next to me and she's very happy. How awesome is this? So if you're wondering and you're looking at getting a FPOS machine, I will tell you a little bit about this. If you're not, skip forward a little bit. But so Zella is payments of point of sale all in one. It accepts in-person payments from cards and devices. You can also have it on your phone. It's able to print receipts and send digital receipts, tipping, split payments. It works on Wi-Fi, SIM, and Ethernet connectivity, but you can also hotspot. So if you're taking it to markets, all of that, that is not an issue. They have got a free no risk return policy on hardware for up to 30 days after the purchase date.
It accepts American Express, Visa, Commonwealth, Union Pay, JBC, Apple Pay, Google Pay, and in this, it is the Zella T1. It's got a transaction account and a business card. So you actually do get a card that links straight to a Zella account. So all your payments can go into this one account. But you can also make your life easier for tax time by just using your Zella card. Oh, that's why it's not coming out. Oh, how stunning. I love black. If you've missed just about every video I've ever posted, this is the Zella bank card. It is so pretty. Oh, love it. And then it also has instructions on how to set it up. I'm assuming this will be instructions. So this is how to set it up. Some stickers, some lines, and then you've also got cards of pop-ups for the markets, all of that, of what cards can be taken with Zella. Now onto this gorgeous machine itself. They do have options between black and white. Naturally, I went with black. You've got the charges and a printable receipt. They also, a part of the deal, you could add on a box of receipt paper for an extra $20, and it's 20 thermal rolls. But have a look at this, how cute. So you can take payments at the top here. Receipts come from here. So the best part about this as well is if it's not in use, I can either leave it on the desk, or it is kind of compact enough that with jeans, things that have stretchier pockets, you could probably fit this in your back pocket. Now, of course, this video is not sponsored. I am just a small business owner who's just started out, and I want to be able to share amazing products with you guys as well. So if you are an Australian business or a business somewhere else, you do know your options of what you can get for good prices. But this is almost turned on, and it's really light as well. It does take a UBC charger, which does come in the box, and they are also black as well. So that is pretty good. So now I do have the set up screen, go through, check on my Wi-Fi, all of that. But I'm gonna do that later. For right now, Little Miss and I are gonna walk down to the post office and get that package sent. I've got all the information I need, so just gotta fill out the customs form while we're there and get that shipped. But I will check in with you guys later when I am back to sewing. It is currently 2:15 and I have not got any work done today. It's just one of those days with having kids that you don't get a lot done. I did go to Spotlight and pick up the new fabric, and I also found out they don't do my Kookaburra Haven fabric anymore. So that is really sad. And I also ordered a new dragon fabric. So when that comes in, I'll have to show you guys. But if you guys watched the last video, I got a package from Solid Solutions, and I mentioned that I was going to do another order, and it came. Now I'm really sorry about the noise, but Little Miss is asleep in the car and I'm not waking her up. I've been trying to get her to sleep for quite a while. Now I'm pretty sure I just ordered paint. So
first up, I do believe this is silver. Oh, I hate the sound of bubble wrap. Nope, this is carbon black. I was wondering why it was in a black container. That's the paint. So I got that one. Okay, so they had a deal where paints were all like 50% off, but every like 3 or 5 paints or something, you got a free titanium white. So in this box, I've got 2 of the titanium whites and 1 wattle bush. This one, I've got silver, and it is shimmery. So I got gold last time. I got a rose quartz, a green. I am honestly not trying to read that word, but it's a very dark green. Naphtha, crimson, it's red, and a moonlight blue. In this one, I got island blue, flamingo, deep ocean, cobalt blue hue, and a burnt umber. So it's a very dark brown. And these are really good quality paints. I love them. I spoke a lot more about them in the last video, so if you want to hear about it, feel free to go and watch the previous video. It has been a good few hours since I last spoke to you guys. It is now 9:30 p.m. and I finally got all of these quilted, ready to go. I had a couple of the Lemon Orchard lids pre-made, so I just want to do the top stitch on those. Now I've just got to trim it all and do all of these lids. So I'm going to go get them ironed on, traced out, and I think I'm going to try doing the magnets after doing the top stitch with these ones. Usually I do it before the top stitch, but I'm going to try something else to see if it works a little bit better. So I also got some bookshelf decor done. I added this like gold shimmer, so it's meant to look like the gem is reflecting up, but it doesn't really, but that's okay. We've got to learn somewhere. The brown came today, which you guys saw earlier. Got that done. So now all I've got to do is just fix up some of the edges where I got the brown. And this one, I've just got to fix up some of the black where I got the brown. But they have turned out really cute. So I got a bunch more made. Not last night, the night before. It was earlier in this video, and then a couple more today. But we've got another book dragon, another egg dragon, another book dragon. I think all up I've got 4 more of these egg dragons, just 2 of these ones, 2 of the frogs, 2 of the Grim Reaper, 2 of the little Grumpy Dragon, which I usually do in resin, but I wanted to try it in plaster, but this is the resin version. So I want to try doing this in gold, but the plaster just doesn't come out very well in these molds. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to fix it. If I can't, I think I'm just going to have a little discount section in the booth. But there was also 2 more molds that I tested out as well. This one, the dragon's faces just did not happen. They look quite creepy. But it is actually a little pot, so I was thinking once it's painted, it could be like a bookmark holder, because it's kind of cute. I don't know, once it's painted, I guess we'll see. It'd be good for the metal bookmarks or thinner bookmarks. These ones are probably a bit too thick, but I didn't make these, so that's probably why. But that is kind of the goal with this. That can just sit on my shelf for now. And then there's also this wolf one with a wolf pup, arrows, and it's just really cute in the back. Like, they detailed the whole way around. Anyways, I got really distracted there, but I really wanted to show you guys. So we're gonna get all of the lids started. I don't know how far I'm gonna get tonight, but I really just want to sew them all up. That's literally my favorite part, is sewing them all together. But let's speed it up and have fun watching. Currently 11:48. I have got my creaming soda, Bundaberg. If I ever refer to it as ginger beer, that's because that is the brand of ginger beer that I drink, which is non-alcoholic, but this is creaming soda and it's so good. So that's my drink for tonight. I have got all of the lids sewn and got the corners cut, all the extra fabric. So I've just got to go and do the top stitch. I'm really aiming to try and get it all done tonight, so tomorrow we can just put it all together. Fingers crossed. So it is 12:37 a.m. but I've just finished all of the top stitches for the lids and I'm still not very tired, and I think it's because I had a nap today, not gonna lie. So I'm gonna start getting the magnetic tops for the magnetic clasp on. See how many I can do. I'm currently watching Tell Me Lies. I'm on season 1, episode 5, because I finished Off Campus and there's no new season till 2027. So that is really sad. But anyways, I'm actually using my book sleeve templates for where I want my dots, because I haven't actually changed my template for these lids to accommodate 2 class, only the 1. So maybe tomorrow I'll go through and fix it up. But let's be honest, I probably won't. I've got both kids home tomorrow and we have got a really busy day. Okay, that's kind of a lie, exaggerating a little bit. But we're catching up with friends. We've got my daughter's immunizations. I've got to go to the bank and the post office as well. That reminds me. Don't really want to do that. But yeah, that's super fun. I'm really glad I've almost got these Ereader sleeves done though, because next I really need to get some discreet book covers done. In the last video I changed where I did the elastics to be able to accommodate thicker books, but it turns out now they can't accommodate thinner books, which is great. Now I've got 2 different sizes for the discreet book covers. So I've got the regular and large, and then I've also got a thick regular and a thick large, because you've got your 7-inch and your 8-inch books, but I can't have the elastic to fit both at the same time. It just, the sizes are way too different. So at the market, it will be written that they are to accommodate the 2 different sizes. It's the same price no matter what you get, if you get the thick or the regular version. They're the exact same price, it just changes where the elastic is. Good morning or afternoon. It is currently 12:15. So last night I went through, I got all of the lids made, top stitched, everything. Now all I've got to do is put a logo on the front of each piece and stitch it all together. I actually don't even know how many we've got to do. I've never made this much, and for a small business that's just starting with a very basic machine, I can only do as much as I'm doing with also having 2 kids. So my hours are very limited. So for some people, this may not be a lot, but for me, this is a lot. So I'm very keen to see just how many there is. I've got all of the lids ready to go. There was a couple that I'd put aside, but I think I accidentally put them in, yeah. So some of them, when I did the top stitch, that's when I was able to see that I didn't stitch it properly. So these pieces are going to be put aside, and hopefully they're spares. I don't think they are, but a girl can hope. So the goal today is to get all of these finished, get the logo, the inner lining, and the lid at least all put on, and go from there. But we're just going to time lapse it again, and I will see you guys after. So I've just finished getting all of the sides pretty much put together. I just need to go and actually sew the 2 sides together, but I've got the inner lining, and not that piece of course, the inner lining and the outer lining of all the pieces that I can do done. Just got to put each piece together. I got quite a few done. I got quite a few done, but I think I'm gonna call it for tonight because it's 9:45 and I'm just starting to make heaps of mistakes. Like literally the last 2 Ereader sleeves I've tried to sew up. This one, right, it looks good. It looks good, doesn't it? Until you open it up and realize it's actually 2 back pieces. Yeah, and I didn't realize until I was literally on the last part. So that's just annoyed me a little bit. And this one, okay, it's not even that bad, but I just didn't line it up properly, and I've got to unpick it, and I don't want to unpick it, so I'm just throwing a little temper tantrum, honestly. But I'm going to get these ones all turned inside out. I think I'm going to call it for sewing because I'm really tired. So it turns out of the 6 that I've just turned the right way, 1 is actually okay. The rest I didn't give enough of a seam allowance, so I'm just going to stop with this for tonight because I'm just getting overwhelmed now. But that's one thing I'm definitely working on is my seam allowance. But I honestly think I might just sit down and paint for a little bit because I'm getting a little bit mad and upset. So I'm just going to stop. I can do it tomorrow. It's literally fine. But I will see you guys tomorrow. Are you like me and you like to travel a lot with your books? I'm talking camping trips, taking your car. So we are cracking out the mic so I can talk while I sew. But basically I figured out the issue with the machine. I pretty much almost gave up with sewing. You know when you get to that point you've got like the minor inconveniences and you're like, that's it, I'm not doing it anymore, I'm giving up completely, chucking out the machine, closing the business, I can't figure it out. Yeah, that was me. But I'm definitely in a better spot now, better mind spot, all of that. And I figured out all I actually had to do was just rethread my machine. Yeah, so I'm really glad I figured that out. But I'm just going through now and fixing up the mistakes from yesterday. The lids kept getting in the way and that was also really bugging me. One e-reader sleeve that I've honestly just thrown on the ground as a deal with later, but I just need to unpick it and get back to it, sew it up again because I sewed over the lid. But I've now figured out that if I just use one of the metal clips, I can actually pin them out the way and get a closer stitch and not sew over that lid, which is great. Definitely wish I thought of that earlier because that's going to make a huge difference. So I'm just going through fixing up all the ones I did yesterday, which I think there was like 5 or 6, but I've got a pile going behind me and it is definitely growing, but I'm really glad I've got it figured out. So now all I'm doing is going through and getting the rest stitched up while little miss has a sleep. My sister is currently home today, so I figured she's going to be laying in bed all day, might as well use her for my daughter's nap. One thing I'm also working on today is better seam allowance because that is one thing I really suck at is the seam allowance. I cut my fabric big enough that once I've done a proper seam, there should be more than enough room for your e-reader still. But whenever I'm sewing, I still get into this habit of trying to get things as close to the edge as possible, which is a terrible habit to be in. So I just use this metal clip up here. Once it's done, it's just like that. So we're trying a different mic cover to see if it cuts out the background noise just a little bit better. My little test subject is my partner who is currently in the kitchen making dinner. But I got all of the Ereader sleeves officially up together. All I have to do now is go through, clip all of these threads and put the bottom magnetic clasp into each and every single e-reader sleeve. They have turned out really nice. The only thing I've noticed that I need to do is with all of these logos, they need to be a little bit more wiggle room. So I need to make this logo just a little bit smaller and keep this square the same size because I'm really happy with the square size. The only thing I need to be wary of is making it smaller might make the writing a little bit harder to see. So I get one that's not as in the corner, but I'm really happy with the size. It's not too big, but not too little. And they're kind of like off to the side. I do like how they've turned out because they are still very clear, but I wish I didn't have to stitch through the logo itself. So that's something I'm going to go and work on now. And then I'm going to sit down and watch a movie with my partner tonight and put the bottom of the magnets on. And then later today, hopefully, we will get the top stitch and the closing stitch done, and then they are officially finished. So I absolutely can't wait. I love making them, but at the moment I'm kind of sick of making them, if that makes sense. But I will check in and see you guys hopefully once the magnets are done. It's now 7:45 and honestly I have had to stop doing the e-reader sleeves because my fingers hurt so bad. They are really sore. So I'm just going on to Cricut and I'm fixing up the logos and I'm going to edit those so they're ready to print. And then I'm going to work on getting some stickers made because I'd like to have some stickers available for the market, but I don't have any made at the moment. So I'll get those made and designed, all of that, and then just dabble, I guess. I might do some painting, anything but those A-Reader sleeves because my fingers hurt. And I think I definitely understand it now why so many small businesses use zippers because, ow. Good morning, everyone. It is now Saturday. Now, I usually don't work on weekends, but I really, really want to get these e-reader sleeves done. So the last thing we've got to do today is get these magnets all put in and then sew up the bottoms and the final stitch, and then they are done. Last night I did say I was going to work on some stickers, so I've got a few drawn up. At some point today, I would love to get them printed onto some paper and cut out, but that is a way later issue. For now, we're just going to do a quick tidy up and then get the e-reader sleeves out and go from there. I also got a new Kindle design made, so it is this purple starry night background with some dragons. So I found some dragons on Cricut to use, and I also incorporated my hand-drawn dragons. So very excited about that. I would love to at some point in the next week or two get some more dragons drawn up. I am still learning to draw, so it does take me quite a little while, but that's okay. We've got to learn somewhere. Anyways, let's get into today. of the magnets onto all of the ready e-reader sleeves. I found a few more that I'd sewed the lids into the actual sleeve. So before I do anything else, I'm actually going to quickly change the template, because there's one thing that I definitely learned that is driving me nuts. Let me just raise you guys up for a second. This is for my old book sleeves, which I don't even make anymore. But I need to make it just a little bit smaller. We are officially up to the part I wanted to be up to a few days ago, but every single e-reader is now ready for their final stitch. We went up, fixed all the lids, fixed all the mistakes, and everything is officially ready to go. Finally got all of the e-reader sleeves done. So there is some of the old design, some of the new design that will be going up on Etsy Sunday 2 p.m. I do believe. So I'll show you guys the new design. This is the one I will be going forward with. So the lid now doesn't have a curve because they are really hard. And they all have 2 magnets. And as I said last night or previously in this video, I went and fixed all the logos so they are that little bit bigger. I don't need to worry as much. But these are the ones that I will be going forward with and selling on Etsy and online. But the ones that have the old designs, I don't know if you can hear that, but that is my frog. Thank you so much. I have green tree frogs. I really hope you guys can hear that. But we're going to go through. We're going to count them because I know that there is more of 4 of some designs. I currently have 2 Kookaburra Haven and 2 Lemon Orchard aside that I found some minor issues that I need to go through and fix. One of them I need to unpick completely because I am not happy with it at all. And others, it's more just tiny little bits have come undone when I was doing the final sew, which is a super easy fix. But let's go. So this is Mystic Cats. This is Dark Fantasy. Highland Cow. Kookaburra Haven. Darling Daisy. Mystic Butterfly. Pink Orchard. Blue Meadow. And Lemon Orchard. They are all super cute. So this is the old design. This is the original design before I changed it to 2 magnetic clasps, and it also has the old lid that is rounded, as do most of these lids. A lot of them do have 2 clasps, but I really didn't want to waste any product. I'm just going to put the ones with the 1 magnetic clasp or minor imperfections that I'm not happy with in a clearance bin at the market with like 20% off or half price. I'm not really sure yet, but let's count them up. $38. Oh, that is a... So what did I say? 38. That is the most I have ever made if I'm being completely honest. But I am really happy with how they are. I need to go and get photos for Etsy to be able to get those uploaded and also put pictures on social media. Oh, thank God that is over. That was such a long week. More because it's not like I can just sit down and sew all day, get things done in 1 to 2 days because I do have kids. I've got 2 kids, one's 4 months old and a 2 year old. So I'm a mum who runs a small business, but that's okay. We finally got it done, and I am really happy with how they turned out. And I'm super excited about the official new design. They're just so pretty. I love it. But I think this is where I'm going to end the video because it is Saturday and I ended up working all day today just to get these done. But thank you so much for watching. I will leave these all listed down below with a direct link to each product if you see one that you like, as well as my social media, Etsy, and all the details you need down in the description below. I would appreciate if you subscribe. If you don't want to, completely fine, but I will see you next week. Bye.